their Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So this is our first one of 2022. So to kick things off, we are going to take a look at some books that have some pretty epic plot twists. There's something like reading a book that you think you know where it's going, and then all of a sudden there's this like setup that you don't even see coming, and then the author just turns everything on its head. And you just sit there almost like in shock as you're reading this. Like, I don't know if you've ever done this. Like, you literally sit there and you're like, yeah. We have 6 books that is what happens there. We have some standalones. We have some first in a series. Because, first in a series always has some sort of an epic plot twist. So let's get started taking a look at these 6 awesome books that will keep you on your toes, guessing to the very end. First one is Stolen Time. So it's 1913, and Dorothy is being forced to marry this wealthy man, and she doesn't want to do it. So in order to avoid it, she runs away, and then she finds this nearby aircraft. So she decides she's going to get on this. She's going to stow away, has no idea where it's going, what the deal is with it, and she doesn't realize that this aircraft is actually a time machine. And it's flown by this pilot whose name is Ash, and he is like living during World War II time. She soon finds herself in the year 2077 in Seattle, which is now completely underwater. And she discovers that Ash handles, with a couple others, he's on this team that he handles, and they are this group of time travelers from all different parts of history who are trying to stop this time traveling technology from falling into the wrong hands at some point in the timeline of history. When the professor of this technology disappears, it's going to be up to the group to travel through time to find him and save him before everything, the past, present, and future, is completely changed. If you love time traveling mysteries, romance, this is a great one. Again, there is a pretty epic plot twist. This is Stolen Time. One of my all-time favorite plot twist books. This is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. So Katie comes from old money, and each summer, Katie, along with her cousins Johnny and Marin, and their mutual friend Gat, they have spent their summers together on the family's private island off the coast of Cape Cod. The 4 of them are always together. Their group is known as the Liars, and they just always, this is what their summer is. The summer when she is 15, though, Katie has this horrific accident, and for the next 2 years, she finds herself having amnesia, and she has migraines, and she's just trying to piece everything together that led to this life-altering event, because she honestly cannot remember anything leading up to this. You'll be right along with Katie as she tries to piece everything together. You'll be learning with her right at the same time. Like, as she's figuring stuff out, you will be figuring it out. There are time jumps between the past and the present, and it's filled with so much suspense and drama. This book it will not disappoint you, and you will need to get all the way to the end. Because again, it pays off. I did not see this one coming. Amazing, highly recommend this one. This is We Were Liars. The Wicker King. Okay, so August and Jack have grown up together, like ever since they can remember, like even before elementary school, and they both know they owe each other way more than they could ever repay one another. It is due to their friendship that they survived their dysfunctional families, and they've made it into high school. I mean, like, Jack even saved August's life one time when he was drowning. I mean, like, they owe each other everything. It's when they get to high school, though, and things between them kind of start to change, that Jack kind of starts to have these visions. Like, he starts to think that he sees himself as almost like a king. And he starts to see things, and he starts receiving these messages that his kingdom is in trouble. And he has these visions that it's going to be up to him as the king to save his kingdom. Soon, Jack realizes that there's a quest he's going to have to go on in order to make this happen. And he's going to need August's help. Now, even though August has no idea what's going on, he's really confused, he doesn't know what exactly is happening with his best friend, he knows he owes it to Jack to help him. And whatever he is going through, it may change everything for the both of them. This psychological horror is one that will leave you confused, breathless. I will tell you there are some confusing parts in it, but it does pay off. It will also leave you questioning everything you are reading, and when you are done, you will be still questioning everything you just read, wondering what is real, what is not real. Again, if you love a good psychological horror scary book, I cannot recommend this one enough. This is The Wicker King. The Adoration of Jenna Fox. Okay, so when Jenna Fox wakes from an 18-month-long coma, she has no idea what is going on and nothing seems right to her. Like, she wakes up, her parents tell her that she was in this traumatic accident, but everything she knew, she doesn't know anymore. And like to the point where they moved across the country, like they live in a completely different state than what Jenna ever could remember. Her parents are keeping secrets, like she asks them questions, the answers they give her, they don't make sense. She cannot remember any of her childhood, but then she can quote like passages of like, you know, like Walden by Thoreau, like off the top of her head. Her grandmother wants nothing to do with her, which as far as Jenna can remember, that so wasn't the case. She doesn't have friends, and she's not really allowed to leave her house. Being kept in the house constantly, though, Jenna decides she needs to figure out what exactly is going on. And as she starts to dig and decipher, she starts to uncover these secrets. And as she unravels them, everything's going to change. This realistic science fiction novel is the first in a series, and it will leave you questioning and thinking, because what actually happens in this story, as far-fetched as when you're reading it may seem, it actually could really happen. And the plot twist when you get to it will leave you like, kind of being like, OMG, I can't begin to imagine this happening, but it honestly really could. It's almost too realistic. It'll creep you out a little bit. This is The Adoration of Jenna Fox. Shatter Me. Okay, so Juliet is 17 years old. She's spent the past 264 days in solitary confinement because she is a monster. Basically, she has the ability to kill people with just her touch. So the solution is to keep her locked up by herself where she can't touch anyone, kill anyone, do any damage, anything like that. Then her whole world changes when a boy is shoved into her cell and she has no idea what to make of this new event. She's got 264 days without having a single person. Now there's someone living in this cell with her. As she starts to trust this boy whose name is Adam, she soon learns that he is keeping secrets of his own. And as they start to be revealed, the life Juliet knows is going to change one way or the other. And it's going to be up to her to decide what she wants to be used for and what she wants to become. The science fiction novel is the first in a series. It combines science, mystery, drama. There's political intrigue. There's psychological warfare. You will leave yourself questioning, like, what would you do if you were in her situation? You will not be able to put this one down. This is Shatter Me. And our last one for today is Choker. So Kara's having a hard time in high school. Her parents basically ignore her. She doesn't really have any friends. Her best friend Zoe moved away. And she's kind of left floundering, trying to figure out what this new life in high school is. And then things get even worse, because when she chokes on a carrot during lunch one day, mean girls Alexis and Sydney, they decide they're going to harass her, and they even give her the nickname Choker. Wouldn't even know, her best friend Zoe arrives at her house. And Zoe's telling her that she needs her help, she needs a place to stay, she's running away from her abusive stepfather, but Kara can't tell anyone about this. And at first, Kara's great with this. Her best friend is back, life starts to change, and Kara's life greatly improves. Like, weird things start happening to her and to others at school that kind of make life way easier for her. But Zoe then kind of starts to act really bizarrely, and as fast as things got better for Kara, they get worse even faster, and she starts to question and wonder what's really going on with Zoe and what role is she had to play with all the weird things that are going on now in her life. And if you love a good psychological thriller that has an ending that you don't see coming, this is one you will not be able to put down. And once you start reading, you are going to want to finish this because you will want to know what happens with every turn of the page. You know I love a good psychological thriller. This one is no exception. This is Choker. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here at the library that have a plot twist. They have an ending that you don't see coming. There's a moment in it that's going to leave you like what? What just happened? So I highly encourage you to come out, check out, start off your 2022 with one of these books that are going to surprise you. Or if there's something else you're looking for, we can help you find that perfect book. I hope we tune back next week. We have a whole new teen book spotlight, and I hope you have a great week.